With that, let's bring in Tyvis Powell to the show. Tyvis joined us yesterday for the first time since he took a few weeks off for paternity leave. During that stretch, Myles Garrett was traded from the Browns to the Los Angeles Rams, and prior to that trade, Tyvis Powell had picked the Browns to win the AFC North. So, Tyvis, we have not had you on since. Do you still believe the Browns are the favorites to win the North, or you have to readjust your expectations for Cleveland and Todd Monken's first season now that Myles Garrett is no longer in the fray?
I think I got to readjust it a little bit. I mean, I had them winning 9 to 10 games. I bumped it down to 7 to 8 now. That's kind of where I'm at in that thing right there. I mean, obviously, Myles Garrett to me is the only defensive player that's worth 1 or 2 wins on the season, right? So I think that losing him and having to establish a new defense, and I have to add a Jarrett Verse in there and see what he's going to do and hope that offense continues to take a next step. I think now you have to factor that in. So, yes, I've lowered my expectations down, but not to the 5-4 wins like a lot of people. I'm about 7 to 8 wins now.
Not much difference between 5 and 7 in the NFL.
Wins. Jeez.
It's a lot. Big difference. Big difference.
What if we split the difference? What if they win 6? Because I'm on the 5 train. You're on the 7 to 8 train. What if they win 6?
Then I'm going to say they're going to win 8.
I'm trying to find common ground with you.
You're gonna say you gotta win 8 now.
8 is doable for me because I think that I think that they did a really good job of addressing some of the needs. You know, if Casey Concepcion and Denzel Boston does give you that spark on the outside, and Isaiah Bond is taking that next step, you know, I think that right there helps the passing attack out. I think that they did a really good job with the offensive line, and a lot of my stock is on Quinshon Judkins this year. I really think that was a guy who was really figuring out the league, and to have no training camp and to have the impact that he had, I think that he's going to take that next step. So to me, I think this team will be heavy on the run game, heavy leaning on Quinshon Judkins, and I just expect him to have a really good year.
You know, Tyvis, looking at a little bit, I guess this is a adjacent story, but we saw you talking about the situation with the supplemental draft. What was your reaction in terms of the supplemental draft when it came out that the league would not have it? And do you think that the league was preemptively kind of putting their flag in the ground saying, hey, before any of the teams even start bidding on this, we're going to take this off the table. We're going to make sure that because we know some of us, we can't control ourselves. We might just throw some picks out there, but we're going to take this off the table.
Nah, actually, I think the NFL did the right thing. I really do, because I think that for so long, you know, Dustin would know, back when we was playing, like the one big rule was no gambling at all. Under no circumstances, you do not gamble. Right to the point where it was like, I ain't going to the casino. I'm scared to gamble. I'm not even going to bet you $20 on something. Like, I'm not betting nothing. Like, that's where we were. And I think the NFL has done a good job, and college sports has done a good job. Like, they said, listen, we'll let you gamble. You just can't gamble on football. You know, in college, you can't gamble on college sports. So I think that they even lenient in that department. The fact that a guy bet on his team, his own team that he was playing on, like, to me, like, that's you can't let that happen. So I think that Brendan Sorsby is the perfect candidate to drop the hammer down, because he's not that good, but he is a guy that maybe particularly some people have slotted as a first-round quarterback. Some people have him not as a first-round quarterback, right? If this guy was potentially the number one pick, I think that the NFL and college would do some things to bend the rules a little bit and try to turn a blind eye. But because he's a guy that's on the fringe, he's the perfect example. Let's drop the hammer down on this guy right here, because it's going to discourage anybody else past him to ever do this. You know, if you're looking, like, if I'm a DB on another team and I thought about gambling, I'm going to think to myself, well, if they did Brendan Sorsby like that, then I know what they're going to do to me, right? So, like, I think he's the perfect fall guy for this to be able to make an example out of, and I think the NFL did a really good job of doing it. It's unfortunate for him, but, I mean, hey, he's going to find a way to maybe go to the UFL or something like that. You should utilize some of these leagues to get yourself some tape and to get yourself better, or you can try to do the quarterback coach thing for a whole year. I know a guy by the name of Cardale Jones that does some quarterback scouting or does some development with quarterbacks. If you need his contact information, Brendan Sorsby, holler at me and I can connect you to, for a small fee, of course.
So you just think that Sorsby should have to sit out this year and not be able to play? I mean, yeah, you feel like he can play in the league, but next year.
Yeah, but I felt like that even if he went in the supplemental draft this year, I didn't think he would do any team a service this season. I think it would be one of those situations where he needed the red shirt and sit out and see how the NFL is, because I just think bringing a guy in and giving him training camp and say, hey, go win us in the season, like that's setting the guy up for failure. Like, you know how hard it is to develop a play, learn the playbook, learn the terminology, and you only want to give him 1 month to try to get all that done. Like, that's setting the guy up for failure. So I wasn't a fan of him playing this season anyways. So for him, I think that either you can sit around and get with a quarterback coach and just work on mechanics and stuff like that, or you can go and run a huddle and run an offense and things like that and go to the UFL. Listen, we've seen a handful of guys get picked up out of the UFL, and if the NFL wants to market the UFL, this is a guy who's perfect for that. This is a guy who's everybody's going to tune in to see what he does. Everybody wants to see the tape, and then we're going to watch this guy go from there to go on to being in the NFL. Now, if you want to sit out a year and go to the draft, I get that as well. From a financial standpoint, you probably could make a lot more money there, but out of sight, out of mind. You're not Jamar Chase. You wasn't putting up Jamar Chase-like numbers before you left. And I know those two play different positions, but you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, he wasn't putting up those type of stats. So to me, if you're out of sight, out of mind, and you're in his situation, you're automatically going to drop in the draft anyway. So you might as well do something. Go to the UFL. If it's not as up to par as the NFL as they say it is, you should go over there and throw for 70 touchdowns and no picks. And I mean, that right there, and you would probably be able to get yourself some money. That's what I'm just saying.
What is the higher level of football? I truly don't know. Would it be UFL or would it be CFL? I was thinking you'd go to CFL.
The higher level, I mean,
what's the better league?
So the CFL to me has a lot of talent, but it's different rules. Obviously, you got different things going on. You got an extra man on the field like that. So he would have to adjust. But the UFL to me is like, it's supposed to be the pipeline to the NFL. Like, that's the way they're trying to market it. It's basically the minors for the NFL. So why not, if I'm the NFL, why not utilize that and have this guy, funnel this guy to there to help bring the ratings up for the UFL, get more people to make it more marketable. So now people think, oh, I can go the UFL route, So I just think that if I was the NFL, it would be smart for them to partner with the UFL on this and try to get Brendan Sorsby to go there so they can truly make it come off as a minor league for the NFL.
Are we positive he's going to be eligible for the 27 draft?
Why wouldn't he be?
I mean, he was eligible for this draft. He's already.
But I'm just saying with the NFL, if the NFL is really going to draw a line on this gambling, 1 year, are we saying it's a 1 year suspension basically? Or are we saying, I like, nobody thought they were going to shut down the supplemental draft to keep him out. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I'm just saying, are we sure the NFL is going to allow him into the league in 2027?
Do you not look at it as the NFL is serving him this suspension? You don't look at this as a 1 year suspension?
Absolutely. I absolutely look at it. But I'm just saying, are we 100% certain that the NFL is going to allow him to play in their league in 27? Or
the answer is no. We're not 100% certain.
That's where I'm going.
There hasn't been we assume this is like a pseudo suspension.
Bet on his own team.
Yeah.
Which is like,
Jason, also in the same breath, because I thought about this today as I was doing my morning show, like, he did it as a freshman. So, like, this is
he wasn't on the travel roster, dude.
This is a young, immature kid. Like, that's a young kid mistake. So, like, I'm not going to hold him hostage for that. Like, if he's shown that he's matured and that he's not doing it anymore, like, all right, that's what it is. I do think, though, if he's going to get this quote-unquote year suspension from the NFL, then he truly needs to do the rehab thing. Don't just say I'm going for 30 days. No, actually go to rehab and show that you've made the signs to do it, because everybody's different. Addiction is different in different ways. And some people take more than just a 30-day program. That's a day-to-day thing that you got to dedicate yourself to being able to do. And it's very hard to just quit something in 30 days. So to me, I feel like as he continues to practice and if he's going to do the NFL or do the training, he also needs to continue to do the rehab to show the NFL. Because when it's time to show, like, hey, I'm ready to play in the NFL, you need to have everything. We need to know that it's not an addiction. We need to know that you're not going to do this no more. We need to know that you're serious about football, because again, this is an organization that's about to hand this guy millions of dollars, and we got to be able to trust that you know what to do with that $1 million.
Yeah, Tyvis, I don't think Kessler is his lawyer. I think when you listen to the way strongly how worded it is by the NFL, they basically said, hey man, we got to see the track record. We got to see the work. If I was part of his team, I would have not even said anything. I would have went to him and say, listen, Texas Tech didn't tell you to get the money back. You still got some of that. Here's what we're going to do. Yeah. We're going to go to the NFL. We're going to ask them, hey, listen, for our better judgment, we're going to sit out and get our stuff together. Can you give me a checklist of some items that you would like to see? Mm-hmm. So that when 2027 comes around, we understand what the game is, and we can understand what better to get ourselves on the track record of being in the NFL. But as far as today, we just worried about getting our stuff together. I think if they would have came at it like that, I think you would have not even heard anything. You would have, because the league had to put it out because they're like, oh no, we're not going to do this. You can't just circumvent the rules. And I think a lot of people don't get it. The syndicate is not going to play with you. We was all living when we saw Deshaun Watson get that 5 or 6. They came back and said, I don't care what you was talking about. We're going to give him an 11. Yep. And you ain't allowed in the facility. When the syndicate sends the memo out, you got to fall back.
I just think that, along with that, thinking about the Sorsby thing, so many times we talk about the difference between the NFL and college is the speed of the game, right? This man is going to sit out a whole year and not feel the speed of the game at all. The UFL thing just don't sound that bad. You're getting yourself some dollars, you're getting yourself some tape, and you're getting better, and you're going up against guys that were in the NFL at one point that maybe just got demoted down or whatever the case may be. So, and you're getting NFL coaching because you got guys that was in the league or former coaches and stuff like that. So to me, I just think that would be a decent move for him because now you're still in the huddle, you're still commanding an offense and doing all those things. I just think a whole year of nobody seeing you and knowing exactly what you're doing, it's going to be hard for me to give up a second round pick for a guy that I don't know really what it's going to look like in the NFL after sitting out a whole year.
Man, Tyvis, really quickly before we let you go, man, thoughts on the camp battle? Do you think Deshaun Watson, Ocho Cinco said he's in the league. It is what it is. He's about to get these 6 games. Your thoughts?
I just, again, I'm probably in line step with all of y'all. I don't understand the Deshaun Watson thing. I get the Shedeur thing. I know how some people feel about Shedeur on and off the field, but I was looking at some highlights the other day and I seen some of the plays that he made and I was just like, you know what, there's something there. And I always take in the fact that this is a guy that also didn't get no reps, through training camp with the ones and was learning chemistry on the fly. And he was able to produce and make plays like that. So to me, I just kind of think that you have something there. You might as well see what it is. I just think Deshaun Watson, we kind of see what it is at this point. This is a guy who's made his money. I get there is a lot of motivation for him to play past this season, but again, I just think he is who he is, and I think that's just what it is. So to me, I've always been a component of play Shedeur, or you could play Dylan if you want to. I just think play those young guys. And whether you are a fan of Shedeur or not a fan of Shedeur, playing Shedeur works in your favor either way. Because again, if you play Shedeur and he's good, you got your guy. You got a franchise guy that you can build around. If he's not good and he's as bad as a lot of people make him out to be, then you're getting the top pick in the draft. So to me, it's a win-win situation for both sides. Why not go with that?
Well, Tyvis, it's great to have you back. I'm pretty much sure that you are exactly feeling the same way because I know you've been playing dress up with your daughters. You've been playing makeup with daddy. You've been playing pin the tail on the dunk. All kind of games while you've been on maternity leave.
I've done a lot of bonding with the lieutenant. It's when football season comes around, I'm always on the go and stuff like that. So it's actually been cool to sit down, have conversations, watch movies, play games, and do stuff like that. We've really had a good time over those 3 weeks of bonding again because just life is life, and as a father, you going out every day trying to make sure you provide for the family and stuff like that. So you kind of miss some of those intimate moments with your significant other. So it's nice to be able to, put everything on the back burner, not have to worry about checking my phone, making sure I'm up to date with sports and things like that, just making sure that my number one focus is on the family. And it was actually kind of refreshing.
Man, who you think you is, man? Good husband. Man. You messing it up for us over here. My wife gonna hear this talk about we want to go have bonding time. No, we ain't got time for that, bro. You playing around with me, Todd.
You go test restaurants out every week, so stop it. Y'all do all that.
Tyvis, we appreciate you, man. We'll talk to you soon.
I'll see y'all
See you,
next
buddy.
week.
See you, man.
When we